So as we progress to a zero-emission freight future, there are really only two choices available: pure battery electric vehicles and hydrogen fuel cells. I think the number one conclusion we came to is that hydrogen vehicles are real and they're going to happen. They're going to happen very quickly.
It's exciting to see the developments around using liquid hydrogen, which will be easier and more versatile than gaseous hydrogen. And I think that can happen in parallel with wider adoption of electric trucks, which are more available on the road.
When we wrote the report, there were no vehicles on the road. Everything was fairly theoretical. Fast forward just 3 years or so, companies like Nikola are going to have vehicles in production at the end of this year. Hyundai is having a production vehicle in the United States, and they've already got production vehicles out in Europe. You're seeing a very fast migration. In addition, the government has gotten very interested in funding production of hydrogen.
I think with these trucks, both battery electric and fuel cell electric trucks, we're truly at the beginning of a revolution of this industry. These trucks are gonna be a game changer.
Hydrogen is an ideal fuel for long-haul vehicles, the ones that can't be well served by battery electric trucks.
Its energy density is better than what batteries are, so you can get more mileage or more range on a given charge. Also, you can fill up a lot quicker than what you can by charging a battery, close to probably what you see with diesel refueling.
When it comes to higher utilization, in applications that require more range, higher utilization during the day, multiple shifts, quick refueling, that's where the hydrogen technology comes into play, and that's what we target for our fuel cell electric truck.
This truck carries about 60 kilograms of hydrogen on board, and 60 kilograms of hydrogen will get us about 300 to 350 miles of range. If we tried to do the same range with battery electric, we'd be much heavier and it would take more space on the truck to be able to get to that kind of energy level to get that range.
So this is a truck for regional applications. We have a range of 500 miles, and the initial trucks we will deploy with customers mostly in California. California has a very good climate when it comes to rollout of these zero-emission trucks. There's incentives like HVIP, there's further incentives on hydrogen, in addition to all of the federal incentives, so it's about the best location we can start the rollout of these trucks in a commercial context.
So one of the big issues you've got is it going to be gaseous hydrogen stored in the truck as it's moving, or will it be liquid hydrogen? That seems to be a fundamental thing that needs to be figured out before we start rolling out fueling stations and the distribution network for the fuels.
The hydrogen engine has lower NOx and lower PM than what a diesel engine does. And one of the beauties is a lot of the infrastructure and the capability of a hydrogen engine is very similar to a diesel engine. Several manufacturers have stated somewhere around 85% of common parts. So you've got that infrastructure in place, you've got many of the components and subsystems that you use on conventional diesels on hydrogen engines.
With a hydrogen internal combustion engine, it's the same configuration as the diesel or natural gas engine, where you're still going through a transmission, a drive shaft, and a rear axle arrangement to get the power to the road. Fuel cells generate electricity. They're combined with the battery system so that both of those combined will supply electricity to the electric motor that's in the e-axle. On the vehicle, the processing of hydrogen through a fuel cell, the only byproduct is essentially water.
And the idea is to achieve zero emissions by using hydrogen through Toyota's fuel cell, some battery, and then using Kenworth's electric powertrain to use that electricity to run the truck down the road.
Hydrogen is very expensive to make, and there are a lot of ideas on how to try to reduce that, but in the end it's still going to be very expensive to make.
The trailers themselves are very expensive. The transportation is very expensive.
The distribution network is very complex and manually intensive with tanker trucks and such.
A kilogram of hydrogen has about the same amount of energy as a gallon of diesel fuel, plus or minus a little bit. Right now, a price of a kilogram of hydrogen is from somewhere between $12 and $16 compared to a diesel fuel price of around $4.50. So the price of a kilogram of hydrogen needs to get somewhere near the price of a gallon of diesel fuel for it to start to make economic sense in the grand scheme of things.